Good afternoon to all. I know this is a very tough time of a day to keep the concentration level very high just after the lunch, but I'll try to make my presentation very short, sharp, and sweet so that the enthusiasm level is at the same level. Uh, yeah. So when we talk about glass, so last presentation by Manish, I think he has already given a brief background why glass is important and what are the different functions of the glass which makes glass indispensable. So I'm not going to take a lot of time in explaining those things. I don't think it's working. No, it's slow. You can just see how the requirement of the glass has changed from normal concrete building. Now we are talking about fully facade buildings. So it makes more sense for us to understand what glass can do and what we can do with glass and what are the different opportunities what we can look at whenever we are designing any building with glass. So what I have done in this presentation is that I have segregated it into three parts. But because Manish has already mentioned in his presentation that how glass how glass is important in a green building and what are the different features. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'll try to take it one step ahead and we'll talk about some macro issues about glass. First is about there are still some myths and misconception about glass. So we have to shatter that. We have to shatter those myths. Second is what glass can do to make a building energy efficient and to make a building green. And third and most important is that how other design implement or other design implication can help glass to perform much better. So first thing is about shattering myth. We all know that earlier we thought that glass is only for windows, but no, because of the value engineering and lot of research and developments, now glass has immense opportunity to use glass in various places. We always think that glass is a flat material, but it can bend and it can fulfill all the imagination of any architect. So it's definitely not a flat or it is not fragile because there are different kind of processing which is available which can make glass much stronger. We normally think that all type of glasses are same, but we need to understand what kind of glass should be used for what kind of application. And we cannot interchange those things. So that understanding is very important. So we always say that glass is a very good building material. So we should use the glass, we should not abuse the glass. And normally people think that glass is not a very good green building material. But whenever we define a green building, we talk about few factors and we talk about daylighting, which can be gained only by use of glass. Glass is energy efficient. It is recyclable, it is reusable. It gives acoustic comfort and it gives human comfort. So these all features are appearing in any kind of green building codes or green building criteria. So definitely glass is a very good green building material. So these kind of misconceptions should be shattered and we need to understand what we can do with glass with the right kind of selection of the glass for right kind of application. So these are the opportunities with the glass which I have already mentioned. Now I'll talk about the second phase where what glass can do to help a building becoming energy efficient. So whenever we talk about glass, there are different type of selection parameter which we need to consider, like aesthetic definitely, because it is the external envelope of the building and it impacts the overall look and feel of the building. So aesthetic is a very important part. Second, but I think out of that, the most important is the energy efficiency. When we talk about energy efficiency, we talk about the electricity, the cooling load, as well as the reduction of artificial daylighting, for which Manish has already explained in details. When we talk about glare reduction, this part I think was not covered. So we need to understand that going for a glass with very high light transmission is probably not a very good option, because in the country like India where you have a lot of solar intensity available and the kind of lux level which is available outside. So we may not require a glass with very high light transmission because it will create a glare and we will put the blind on and it will defeat all the purpose of using glass. Then again, acoustic and strength is obviously a very important factor which we need to consider whenever we are selecting a glass. For energy efficiency, what we need to do, definitely we should use high performance glasses, but always you should not think that very high performance glasses or best of the product or best of the performance parameter will perform best for any kind of building. We need to understand the building requirement, we need to understand the climatology and everything to understand what kind of requirement that building is asking. And then we need to understand what kind of performance parameter which is important for glass. Apart from glass, whether we need to understand the building is rightly shaded or not, we have to use insulated glass unit if required, and we need to use the correct frames because we always talk about glass and we ignore frames, what we are using. And whenever any kind of energy codes they talk about U factor, they don't talk about U value. And U factor is a combination of both the things. So what normally people tend to do is they try to select the material first and then they do all other things. But the right approach here should be, we need to understand what kind of climatic condition it is there, what is the orientation of the building, what is the design of the building, what is the design of the facade, what is the WWR, all those things. By considering all those things, after that we need to select the right kind of material. Now, these things what I have already discussed, that climate, optimum orientation, shadow and daylighting analysis, these are very important factors we need to consider whenever we are selecting any kind of glasses. These are the theory what we need to consider, but how these kind of theory actually impacts whenever we are designing any building and how it can optimize the overall building design by using right kind of glazing solution. So there are some 1 or 2 live case studies which will give you a fair insight of how the design and glass both put together impacts the right selection and better optimization of the building in the form of energy efficiency. There is one case where there was a school where people used aluminum perforated wall as the second skin, and they wanted to have a very high performing glass to be used inside that. When we did the energy simulation of that building, so for best performing glasses, glasses with best parameter and the normal clear glass, both were performing same. So this was a kind of, we stuck there that why it is happening. Then we get into more detail of this design, and we realize that it is not about glass which is doing all those things. It is about the cavity which is there in between the wall and the glass where the heat is trapped. So just by changing that cavity to the ventilated cavity, even the clear glass was performing as good as the high performance glasses. So that's what the first thing what I said, that everywhere high performance glass is not required. So you can save a lot of money whenever you are using right kind of product. Then the type of facade, whether facade is inclined or not. So there is a building in Mumbai which had an inclined facade. So inclined facade reduces the requirement of SHGC. Because of the inclination, the direct solar radiation was less, so which was falling on the building. And because of that, if you'll see any kind of, these are 2 different daylighting analysis. If you'll see, if you are using a glass with very high light transmission, it was creating a glare. So light transmission was not important factor here. So we can go for any kind of product which has very low solar factor. So that's what we selected here. Then third and very interesting case here is about one IT building in Bangalore where some facade consultants suggested a very high performance glasses again. And we suggested to go for a moderate kind of glass with moderate solar factor and U value. Reason behind that was that the climate analysis of Bangalore, which is a moderate climatic condition, and the requirement from glass was not that huge. So it saves a lot of capital expenditure for the occupants, and both the glasses were performing same. So basically, just to summarize all those things, the glazing selection process, what we need to do is we need to go for the effective aperture process. Normally, when we talk about effective aperture process, as you are increasing your window area, you need to consider more about the light transmission part. You should go down in that. Or whenever you are going for a very bigger window or very bigger vision panel, you need to have a very good performing glasses there. Glass with a very low solar factor, normally as per Indian tropical climatic condition, glass with low solar factor and optimum U value normally performs better, but it is not the universal rule. Again, I said that it depends on the kind of building. Because all kind of glazing behaves differently in different kind of, even different kind of orientation. So what are the do's and don'ts which we need to consider? We need to use the shading, definitely. We need to do the overhead shading. We need to do the internal shadings. Have more windows in north and south facade. Use glazing with optimum VLT, low solar factor or low U value or optimum U value. Use dark tint glass at visible height and clear at the higher level, because you are allowing the optimum light, and at the higher level where it is not the vision area, it will penetrate the light much inside the building. So these are the don'ts. Do not use glass. It's done, last one. Do not use glass with a very low U value and moderate solar factor, because it is a kind of glass which is not applicable for Indian kind of climate. We should not assume that a dark tint glass is better. Normally people think that kala glass laga do, it will perform better. It is not. It is a kind of coating which is done on the glass which performs, not the tint of the glass. Do not use tempered glass. It is not into this context, but it is very important to mention that people normally think that tempered glass is a safety glass. Tempered glass is a strong glass, but it is not a safety glass. For safety, you have to use the laminated glass, which is also mentioned in the National Building Code. And you should not use IGU for sound insulation. This is also a misconception in the mind of the customer, mind of the people, that if we are using 2 pane of the glass, it will reduce a lot of sound. It is not. For sound reduction, you have to use laminated glass. So the learning here, just to summarize this presentation, what are the learning here is that we need always remember that different type of fenestration product behave differently based on the different kind of designs. And we should not assume that glass with a very low solar factor and low U value is the universal solution. It can be a thumb rule, but it cannot be the universal solution. Then direct radiation falling on the glass in Indian context should be avoided as much as possible. And for shaded window, where you have given the shading devices in the window, the product with a lower U value performs better as compared to the product with higher U value, because you have already mitigated that U value requirement. So that's all from my side. Thanks a lot, and the questions are welcome from your end.